So these are the materials I'm going to be using for the making of this bubu. I have 2 yards of 100% cotton African print here, and then I have this other fabric that I'm going to be using around. You can use ashoke, you can use crepe, but the fabric I'm using here is called chinox, and it's kind of thick. It's stronger than crepe and it's not as strong as ashoke. So I'm going to start now by folding my Ankara fabric into 4. Now when I'm making this fold, it's not going to be as wide as you would need for like when you're making a full kimono with the same fabric. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than I would normally fold for my kimono, just so I don't end up wasting my fabric. After folding it into 2, you're going to go ahead and fold it again to become a fold into 4, which is what I've done here. When you make the second fold, don't take it all the way to the end of the other edge of the fabric. You can see I stopped mine somewhere in between, just so I don't waste my fabric. So once you're done folding it into 4, just go ahead and iron it out. Now the next thing I'm going to do is from the top here, I'm going to measure to the length that I want the Ankara part to be. Now the full length of this kimono is 37, alright? So for the Ankara part, I will do 32, and then the orange fabric will do the remaining 5, okay? So I'm going to make a mark here at 32, and I'm going to use it to just draw a line across, just like you see me doing like this, alright? So this is the length of our kimono, the Ankara part first. Now once you're through with this, the next thing you want to do is you're going to measure from anywhere in your hip measurement divided by 4, and after which you're going to go in by some inches. It depends on how big you want this kimono to be. So for me, I'm going to be adding 3.5 inches from the first mark I made. So from that mark I added 3.5 inches, and that measurement I'm just going to take it all the way up, and I just want to use it to create a straight line basically. So now we have our body, and then we have the length we want the Ankara part to be. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw this as a straight line down. So what we have done on the body is we have taken the body and we have added these. Okay, so from here now I'm going to add the extra 5 inches that is going to be the orange fabric to finish up this kimono. I really hope that you guys understand. So once you're through with this, just go ahead and cut it out. So you cut from the bottom here, and I'm also going to cut from the side. Like I said, we're going to be adding an extra 5 inches of fabric to the side and also to the bottom part. Okay, that will make this a full kimono. So once you're through cutting out the body part of the Ankara, you're going to come over to the upper part and go in by about 2.5 inches or 3 inches for your neck width, and then I came down by 1 inch for my neck depth. You can do 1.5 inch as well if you're on a bigger size. Now from the neck width, I'm just going to use my ruler to just create like a V neckline into the center. I didn't measure this, it's not really necessary. So once you're done, cut out the round neckline first. You can cut the round neckline together, but you must separate the front and the back before you cut out the V neckline. The V neckline is for the front, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and cut through this V neckline now, and I'm just going to take it down. I'm not going to just cut it and stop as a V. I'm just going to take it down so that it separates the front pieces into 2. You guys know how kimono usually is. There's a separation in front, so that's what I've done here by cutting it out like this. So this is what it looks like. So now we're going to add the bottom part to make it longer. Alright, so I'm just going to measure the length around the bottom, just from one edge to the other, to know how long the orange fabric I'll be cutting will be. So what I have here is 26. So I just went ahead to cut out two really long straps, as you can see. Now I'm going to be placing them underneath the front and the back. So let me remove the two fronts. Now the front and the back to make it longer. So it's really very simple. You're just going to place it underneath your kimono like this, right sides facing each other, and just go ahead and pin it around the bottom part. So I'm going to pin it around the back and around the front as well. So basically just cut off the excess when you get to the end, and then come over to the front and just do the exact same thing for the two sides of the front. Just pin it down, cut off the excess, and do the same thing for the other side as well. So guys, this is what it looks like. I'm yet to stitch it down, but just to give you guys an idea so you can see how it is at the bottom of it right now. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to be stitching just like I've done here. After stitching down this bottom part, I'm going to stitch this one here all the way around the sides. You see how it is on the side, so I'll just stitch this all the way around the side after I am done stitching down the bottom part. So I'll just place this here like this, and also just stitch it all the way around the sides of the kimono. So by the time I'm done, you guys will see what I'm trying to explain. So it will look like this by the time we're done. So let me just go ahead and stitch it down. Alright guys, so this is it stitched down, and this is what it looks like. So this is the other side. It's actually very simple. All you have to do is stitch an extra fabric to the bottom and to the side, whatever color you like, and you will get your full kimono back. So this is what I have here. Now for the neckline, we are going to be placing the fabric just like you would do for your normal kimono. So this fabric I have here is in a fold, and as it's in a fold, it is 2 inches wide. Okay, make sure to iron it out before you even try to stitch it on your outfit. Okay, so from the center here in front, I'm just going to go ahead and start pinning it. I'll pin it all the way around the neckline, from one end all the way through to the neckline at the back and back to the end in front, just like any other normal kimono. I'm just going to head over to the sewing machine and make a stitch all the way around the areas I've pinned down, and I will just weave the rough edges on all the areas I've stitched so far, so you can see what it's going to look like by the time we're done. Alright guys, so I'm done stitching it down around the neckline. Like I said, I went ahead to weave the rough areas around, not just the neckline, every other area that needed to be weaved around. I went ahead to do it at this point, and this is how neat it's looking like. Now for the sides of the kimono all the way around, I went ahead to weave and folded all the rough edges, as you can see. So we are basically almost done with this, everything looking neat on the inside. Your sewing must always be very neat, especially if you intend to sell them as ready to wear. Okay, so now that we're through with this, the next thing I want to do is to place the pocket. So from the shoulder, I'm going to measure down to about 18 inches here. This is where I want my pocket to start from, so I'm just going to make a little mark here, and now I'm going to be placing my pocket. Now for this pocket, as you can see, I've already folded the upper part And then I've just used my iron to fold it around so that it will be very easy to stitch down. Now after folding everything on the pocket, the measurement is 7 inches by 6 inches. So the longer part of the pocket is 7 inches long and the shorter part is 6 inches long. So I'm just arranging my pocket. I'm taking it to be 2 inches away from the center band that we have, and I'm placing it on the exact 18 inches point that I marked earlier. So 2 inches away from the band and 18 inches below. Make sure you're only pinning it on the front part. I'm going to do the exact same thing on this other side as well. So from the top, I'll measure down to the 18 inches point, and I'm going to place my pocket on this point here. Now I'm going to make sure that from the center, the space I have is 2.5 inches, which is exactly what I have here. And now I'm going to pin it down perfectly. Make sure you're pinning only to the front. Don't go and stitch the front and the back down when you're doing the pocket, okay? So I'm just going ahead to pin it down, and after this I'll just go back to the sewing machine and stitch it around here, here and here. Make sure you're doing only the front and not front and back. And after that, the last thing we're going to do here is to secure the side. This is a butterfly bubu, so we're going to be making our stitch on top. So I'll measure 12 inches below my shoulder. From here I'll start making my stitch. I'll make it down to where the Ankara stop here. So from here down to where the Ankara stop to be a top stitch. I'll do the same thing on this side. I'll measure 12 inches. So from the 12 inches point is where I will start my stitch. The opening at the top is going to be for my armhole, okay? So that my hands can enter inside. I hope that you guys understand. So after I'm through with that, that's basically all. And this is what I had after I was done making the stitch on the side, attaching my pocket and all of that. So yeah, that's basically all for the making of this kimono. It is actually very simple. All you have to do is to join your fabrics, and that's all. If you're still here to subscribe to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell so that when I upload my next video, you will be the first to see it. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.